Oh, okay.
Um, so Professor
Ramses.
Ramsey will sort of urge everybody to get on a train that is going to first go to Siliguri, India, and then transfer over to a train to Jarlaling.
Darling. Okay.
Now,
I decided to add it to his phobia mania. Is definitely afraid of board games. Will never play one, even if his life depended on it.
okay,
Okay.
so there have been a lot of laws enacted to prevent outsiders from going up into the mountains. Traveling around the rest of Tibet is not a problem. Just the authorities have been trying to stem the flow of non-scientific travelers up the mountain. So scientists are fully welcomed, or anybody part of a scientific expedition are welcomed.
So I assume Professor Ramses has a permit of some kind for
Yes,
our
he's already
expedition.
gotten the permit, or rather his assistant secured the permit, because doing paperwork is below Professor Ramsey.
Oh, of course.
Hey, what kind of environment is India in?
Hot.
It's hot. It's a very dry heat.
So, like
But
savanna or
yes, but when
jungle?
you start ascending the mountain, the air gets thinner. It gets colder. Um, you're going to be prone to a whole lot more difficulty just traveling because it's a different world up the mountain. But Ramsey's expedition has prepared a lot for the
One,
eventual climb up
one
the
could
mountain.
even say it's a whole new world. Sorry.
Okay. So, with little fanfare, other than just the exchanging of paperwork to prove who they are, um, your climb up the mountain with a couple of pack mules, a few porters, just a few, not as many as were in your last chapter, are head up the mountain to start collecting gear.
Before we get to, you said we were stopping off at one city in before we got to Tibet.
Yes.
Is it possible to find a rifle for my character?
Um, Make a luck roll.
Okay,
Can I assist in the luck roll?
it's called luck for a Never mind.
Oh, luck for a reason, brother.
That's very true.
Brother.
Okay. Is it the green die or the purple die? It's the green die, right? Green die. It's green die. Yeah. Um, huh? Okay, did I do something wrong with my character? Oh,
Oh.
cool.
Then
think
yes,
that's
you
it.
can find weapon pretty easily. You can find some decently made ones too.
Okay. Um, cool. Well, I will do that then.
All right.
I almost feel like this would be a good way for them to meet Jack Winchester.
Well, Jack, you're already there. You're already part of. You were hired
Ah,
on as part of the expedition. So no need to just randomly meet. You were already there.
We,
yeah,
we we met you in Calcutta at the same cafe we met everybody at. And
Yep.
Professor Ramses excused himself and left us to talk amongst ourselves.
Yep. And then you traveled to the Himalayas, the mountains, and you're going to begin your ascent. Um, you know that the destination in the mountains, Ramsey tells you, is called the village of Gingeste. That it's a rugged village, but definitely worth investigating and documenting. Now, the first.
Is Professor Ramsey's providing? I mean, I assume he's providing, since we're climbing the Himalayas. He's providing like appropriate climbing gear and ropes and everything.
Yeah,
Yes,
how are we
yes.
outfitted?
You guys are well stocked with supplies. More than enough food rations, climbing gear, little medical kits. It's not as much.
Appropriate
Not
clothing.
not one for everybody, but a good amount. Appropriate clothing,
Yeah.
because going from the base of the mountain to the near top of the mountain is going to be a lot more difficult.
Big climate change, yeah.
Now, who has the worst luck?
Probably me, 45.
Mine's 73.
Well, then
Mine's
Rob
55.
can make a luck roll.
You're assuming I can make a luck roll.
So I
I made
assume.
a luck roll.
Oh,
by
good
one.
job. By one. That's lucky.
That is lucky. How lucky?
Hey,
I assume this rifle is standard price. I don't have to pay any upcharge for it or anything.
no, it's going to be standard price.
Okay.
All right. So after it's that first 1,000 feet is easy going. They're well maintained pathways. The terrain is gentle enough where you can easily walk up it, and the animals aren't struggling. You have a few donkeys with you, but the air is starting to get thinner the higher you go. And I need you all to make con rolls.
Okay.
Green or purple one?
Oh,
Green.
Green.
Thank you.
that's a big no on my part.
Never get to my character when I need to. Oh,
All right, so
Altitude sickness, huh?
you're going to suffer from altitude sickness.
Nice.
Okay.
How's that going to affect me?
So, all of your skill rolls are going to be at disadvantage,
Okay.
and all climb, dodge, brawl, jump, kick, swim, and throw rolls have to be a hard to succeed.
Oh, goody. And which were those skills again, real quick?
Climb, dodge, brawl, jump, kick, swim, and throw.
All right.
Basically, the physical skills.
Gotcha. All right.
Hey. So it's starts to get tougher going, but you fight through, and somebody else can make a luck roll this time. I'm not going to make Rob do it every time.
I appreciate that. Why did this kick me out? I don't know.
I can make a luck roll.
Okay,
I'll do
go
it
for
then.
it. All right, there are a few points where the rocks start to slide a little bit. The pass gets more narrow, and everybody has to move single file. There's some whisper talks about there being a potential collapse, but nothing ends
Okay.
up happening.
So just to let you know, I'm happy rolling luck because my luck is higher than my skill, but I do actually have the climb skill. So,
Oh, well, you don't have to roll climb yet.
okay.
All right. Rob, you're gonna roll for a con again. See if you can pass.
Oh, goody. Okay. And there we go. There we go.
So your body
I
adjusts.
got my second wind.
Your body adjusts.
All right, good.
Yeah. As you climb up more, and you start getting more used to the atmosphere change, you start to acclimate yourself to it relatively quickly. And would Derek like to roll a luck roll now?
I can do that.
Awesome. Roll a 1d6.
Could have been worse. Could have been way worse. 4.
All right. As you guys are walking, it's windy up there, and the wind is blowing. The animals are bowing their heads. When one of the porters starts to point towards the sky and shout, everybody kind of lifts up their head to look, fighting against the wind. And in the sky, over what you would presume to be your destination, is a slight swirling of smoke that is taken on the form of a human skull before drifting away into the wind.
Well, it's not ominous at all.
Not good enough to deter me, Sonny.
Yeah, Professor Ramsey doesn't care.
Would it be possible for me to get my camera out and get a shot of it before it dissipates, or is it too quick?
Well, you can make a luck roll, see if you can move fast enough.
All right, let's make a luck roll, see if I can move fast enough. No, I cannot move fast enough.
It fades before you can get your camera up.
All right.
But after a couple thousand feet, you reach the lower part of Gingeste Village. Now, Gingeste lies beyond the Tuna River, somewhat south of Guru, near a tributary of the Brahmapatra River. The village is inhabited by around 96 people, most who live in what amount to 2-story shacks that are constructed of mud and stone. Wild dogs move about the village. There's garbage and human refuse in the streets, and there are ponds of stagnant water that threaten to be the home of insects.
Nice place.
Most of the inhabitants sort of give you a cockeyed stare as you enter, whispering behind doorways, but none are actively making any threatening remarks towards you.
I will, once we're in here, get my camera out and get ready to take shots, but also kind of look at the natives to see if they're reacting poorly to the camera.
Is this like a?
Well,
sorry, is this like a tavern, like a hunting lodge or something, or are we just in a village?
This is the village.
Oh, okay.
Anson, as you take your camera out, a whole bunch of young kids, probably 4 or 5-year-olds, rush into the middle of the street and pose for you.
Okay. So it doesn't seem like it's taboo. I will take a shot of the kids, but also
some of the older people, like the grandmothers and more elderly folk, start laughing and chuckling at the kids as they run up and dance around all excited.
Okay.
And any apprehension that the villagers had upon your arrival seems to have almost faded away.
Oh, okay. So they like being photographed, apparently. Yeah, I'll take shots of the kids and the grandparent type people, and also just kind of get a general photographic record of the village, at least as we see it as we enter.
Professor Ramsey comes close to you and tells you that to take as many pictures as you can, and he'll buy them all.
It'd be my pleasure.
Nice side hustle you got there.
Apparently. I didn't intend it to be, but, you know.
All right, you greet a whole bunch of the residents, as best you can. Until a overweight man wearing a robe of feathers and like a leather shirt and leather skirt descends from the higher part of the village and waves at you. Professor Ramsey tells you that this is the Ban Shaman, the leader of the village. Welcome, my friends, welcome.
Are you speaking English?
Oh, yes, he speaks very good English.
I just look at him and say, "Can you point me to the nearest snow leopard?"
Oh, you don't want to face a snow leopard. They will kill you and you will not see them coming.
He just gestures to his big A rifle, saying, "My gun begs to differ."
You are confident. I like that in a person.
To be fair, though, if he shot a snow leopard with that, it'd be obliterated.
Can you all make spot hidden rolls?
Sure.
Maybe.
Or attempt it, yes.
Maybe not.
I can't make one. I will push though.
Okay. How would you like to push? You're taking a closer look at the Ban Shaman. He's right in front of you right now.
It's probably better I push the roll.
Okay, yeah, you have a better spot hidden. You push the roll. That way, it doesn't bad things.
Yeah.
Good job.
Yeah.
All right. So, you take a pretty close look at the Ban Shaman, and I say no. He's a big guy. He's got a robe and wearing a lot of leather. You also see he's got a necklace on, a very nice ornate necklace. And on this necklace are well over 100 small circlets that seem to be made of bone. Specifically human bone.
And I didn't even need a biology check to tell.
Nope, that one I gave you for free because of that extreme roll.
Should I roll a cult for this or Mythos?
You can roll a cult if you would like, yes. Alright. So you know that the necklace is part of a religious ritual from the area as a gift from one shaman to the next. You also see that he has what looks like a very ornate dagger hanging from his waist. That is bronze and decorated with various artwork from the region. All part of the same ritual.
I will lift my camera up and ask him, may I?
Oh yes, my friend, please. And he poses with a really big smile on his face.
Okay. He gets a shot of him. Thank you very much.
Yeah, you're starting to realize that there's not going to be a lot of candid photographs if everybody starts posing for you whenever you point the camera in their direction.
So we're
not
not
unless I catch him off guard.
You're not going to be able to put these in National Geographic. Let's put it that way.
No.
Good photo record, but not really research material.
Yeah, well, a lot of what I was wanting to do was get images of the actual village anyway, so. And like I said, if I can catch some of them off guard, that would be fine too. But it does look like that's going to be difficult to do.
All right, the Bon Shaman, after a few minutes talking with Professor Ramsey, gives you directions to his home, which is on the upper level of the village, and says he will be there soon, but to let yourselves in and make yourselves comfortable. What would you like to do?
Take off my backpack. Sydney will take off her backpack if she finds a chair near the table and kind of looks around to see if there's anything to drink.
There are some people who will offer you a drink for a little money, for some coin.
Okay.
You will have to make, though, a credit rating roll.
Okay.
All of us are.
Just him, or if you all want food or drink, they will be more than happy to sell it to you. No,
Sounds like fun.
they won't sell you.
She just takes out her canteen and takes a drink of water from there and puts it back into her pack. They must not like her because she's a woman. Sexist.
Can buy either food or water if you so wish to.
I'll just be nice and buy the lady some food.
Okay.
She smiles at you and says, "A drink would be better."
And a drink it is.
Nothing.
Whatever spirit they have in a be fine.
Nothing
She takes out a
milky
tin cup.
white.
Yeah.
A lady that's got a taste for drink and some nerve. That's good quality.
All right. So, as you're sitting there, Sydney, you see a man standing by one of the huts, kind of in the shadow of the building, looking directly at you and kind of pointing a finger at you and motioning you to follow him.
Okay, I nudge the other two and I point out the guy and I say, "What do you think that?" I kind of whisper, "What do you think that guy wants?"
Well, we might as well see. And if it's a trap of some sort, I'm more than prepared.
Okay. So she'll put her backpack back on and say, and excuse herself, saying she has to step out to relieve herself, to use the toilet, and
There's the toilet.
And she'll, assuming these guys are coming with me, so she'll make her way
Yeah.
across the main road or whatever the divider is in this little
Yep.
village and approach him.
All right. When you get closer, you first off realize that what you thought was an older man is actually an older woman, kind of wrinkled. No, most of her clothes is really heavy, so it disguises her form.
Okay.
She starts speaking to you in a language that you don't entirely understand. Since you did study Mandarin, you have a general, maybe a baseline understanding. You can roll your Mandarin roll.
Okay.
Okay. Wow. All right. So, first off, you recognize the language as being Tibetan. And she's kind of speaking just above a whisper to you.
Okay.
She puts her hand on her chest that says Nima.
And I put mine on mine and say Sydney.
And she
I
says,
think that's what her name was, is Nima.
and she asks, American?
I smile and say Australian.
She kind of looks at everybody else in the center of the village, and then back at you and says, in Tibetan, I found him. I found him when he was crazy.
I smile and say, do you know where he is? In Mandarin?
Went home. He went home.
Can you tell me what he was doing when he was crazy? Again in Mandarin.
He here for a long time, writing things down.
Did he stay with you?
No, Bonchaman.
So the Bunchum, he stayed with the Bunchum. Do his things, did he leave any here?
No.
No. Do you know where he was? And I point up to the mountain. Do you know where he was before he started writing?
She
you get that?
tells you that he went up to the temple up the mountain and came back with yak's milk.
To the temple. She takes out from her pocket, she wears a bomber jacket, leather bomber jacket. She takes out a notepad and a pencil and asks, can you draw where temple is?
She takes the piece of the pad from you. Let's see, do I have an appropriate handout? I might.
An appropriate handout, yay!
I might actually have an appropriate handout for this exact question.
Appropriate handouts are always good.
Even inappropriate ones sometimes.
Yeah, technically, even inappropriate ones will be fine.
No, I unfortunately do not. I thought I did, but I do not.
That's all right.
She just draws a rudimentary arrow and points towards the mountain, past where the Bonchaman said his hut was.
Okay. Did he say in Mandarin? I'm going to ask. Did he say anything when he came back from temple?
Cried for mother.
From... Hmm. I nod at her, thanking her very much, and saying namaste, and turn back to them, and I tell them what she said, and I point over to where the temple is up in the mountains.
All right.
Yak's milk, huh?
Yeah, it's a ceremonial drink ceremonial or formal drink, uh, often offered to guests or important visitors, or usually symbolizes some form of event, such as the birth of a child, or maybe getting accepted to a school, or something like that.
All right. Well, is it ever? I mean, is it just the milk of a yak, or is there something added to it? The stuff.
It's usually fermented, so that to increase its shelf life.
I wonder if that's all there was to it. The stuff that.
You were saying something about some kind of white drink. I wonder.
Yeah. Some
You know,
kind of milky
maybe.
white.
Yeah, maybe if you watered down yak's milk, it might be. I'm thinking if you had like a skin of yak's milk, but you couldn't get more, what you might do is, as your supply diminished, you might water it down more and more to stretch it out.
Well,
What
it
do you
seemed to
think?
me this stuff had done something to his mother.
Yak's milk can
seemed to be more than just.
Yak's milk can
being
have
alcoholic.
various medicinal and other things added to it for various like ceremonies and rituals and things. Well, it seems like so. I kind of whisper to them as we step aside in the middle of the street and say, "So it seems like he stayed with the Bunchaman when he got back, and he started writing. So either talking to him to see if we can see where he stayed, or maybe doing some sneaky stuff and see if we can find out where he stayed, and maybe he left some clues in his room, or wherever he stayed. Unless you guys just want to go hit the temple."
We can try
I'm
checking
not-
to see if we can find where he stood.
I'm not entirely sure I trust our host there, but
Sydney looks
we-
over
we
the
were
edge of
just-
her
we were to
sunglasses.
just wander
I
off
don't
without-
trust anybody.
if we were to just wander off without telling anyone, that might cause a lot of suspicion and some sort of negative reaction from these people. So I don't
So
know.
Keeper,
If it's
how-
a temple, it could be a sacred place. They may not want us up
Could
there,
be. How far is the temple from the village?
No one has said anything about how far it is, but the Bon Shaman did say that you could visit his house and wait for him there.
Okay. I have navigate. Can I, based on the description she said and looking at the terrain, can I get a rough estimate of how far the temple might be from here?
Well, I mean, you would guess that it's not too far. Uphill a little bit, following the main road that goes through the village.
So less than an hour or so?
Probably something you could probably walk.
Okay.
'Cause nobody around here has vehicles.
Right.
The village has no cars.
But I imagine they do have like animals and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Like they might not have horses, but they might have like donkeys and oxen and stuff. Right?
Yeah, there's obviously yaks.
Yeah.
They have dogs that are roaming wild around the village. Cats seem to be everywhere in this world, so there are probably cats there too.
So I say to the guys, we could sneak out and under cover of darkness and go when we wanted to. But since the Bondaman has given us use of his thing, maybe we should just go back there and start looking around. See if we can't find where the guy stayed. See if he left some clues or something. Since he said he hasn't come back yet, we pretty much, I guess no one's going to really stop us. What do you guys think?
Yeah, being foreigners seems it's always gives us the out of ignorance if we do get caught someplace we're not supposed to be. So,
Okay.
yeah, let's go have a look. I hate to go up there blind.
Yeah, I do too. So I guess we're going to go back to the Bonneman's house, back over the street again, and she'll walk in and give a sigh. Ah, much better. And then kind of like wait a few minutes and maybe excuse herself and just start kind of looking around. I kind of like
All right.
admiring the architecture, looking at the primitive construction and making comments, but of course looking around to see if we can see like maybe he left a trunk or something, or maybe a pack, or maybe even just some papers or something.
All right. Well, as you walk from the lower part of the village to the upper part, making comments about the way that the obvious poverty levels of the village, you see a similar looking hut that is decorated with ribbons blowing in the wind, strings with human skulls on it hanging near the doorway. And it's constructed with very dark wood and clay instead of just mud packed.
I got to step away. I'll be back in a bit.
Okay.
And in fact, I will take this opportunity to go AFK. I'm going to go downstairs and get myself another iced coffee. So
I think what I could attempt is to do a track roll
Okay.
to try and figure out where he could have been staying.
All right. Well, then make a track roll if that's what you want to do.
I think I will. I think I'm going to have to push it.
All right.
Or is it too late?
No, you can push it. That's fine.
I mean, it's either that or the 100.
Yeah.
Yay, hard success.
You're able to see that next to the Bon Shaman's hut is a little, slightly smaller hut that is sort of like a side room with its own entrance. So you can enter the small hut without going into the Bon Shaman's hut.
Guess I'll do that. Go look for things.
All right.
Maybe I should stealth just so I am not seen.
Okay. You can make a stealth roll then.
I'm guessing I'm going to have to push it again. Just crouch real low. Just scuttle across the snow. And that failed.
All right. As you're trying to sneak, there's a villager nearby who sees you and points and starts shouting very loudly.
I guess I'm gonna have to go to the villager and apologize.
And several more villagers appear.
Am I screwed?
Yeah, you probably got about 5 or 6 people who have now come out of their homes to see you.
What would be the smart thing to do? Just run to the temple and just wait for the others there?
You can.
Or what other thing could I do here? Crap, let me think. I could try a fast talk for
Alright.
like a deception.
Yeah, you can try to just talk and see if you can convince them that you're not doing anything wrong.
Hard success.
Yeah. The villager who first saw you kind of shrugs and, kind of puts up his shoulders like, I don't really care what you were doing. But as soon as you turn around, you can see the Ban Shaman is walking up the road towards his hut.
Okay. So is that away from the small hut or to it?
It's the same direction as the small hut, but deviating a little bit.
I better get in that small hut and try to like get in there.
All right.
At least I talked the villagers down.
Yeah, so they all went about their way. They're not even paying attention anymore.
Okay, I'll go in there.
All right. Do you just walk on in, or do you want to try sneaking again?
I'll try sneaking.
Okay.
Please don't screw up. No. Bad dice. Bad. Alright. I really don't want to luck it, so I'll have to push it. Our success.
Hey, you and the others managed to sneak on in, avoiding the Ban Shaman's gaze. You find yourself in a small hut, just sort of with
Yeoman's tiny hut?
It's a tiny hut. There's a little cot type bed with some blankets on it.
Gonna have to search the place for anything that might have been left behind.
Yep. You have to make a spot hidden roll.
Barely a success.
Hey, but a success is a success, right?
Mm-hmm.
There, underneath the cot bed is a small box that seems to be locked.
A small box.
Yep.
Is there any key around?
If there is, you haven't found one.
Alright. Is that another spot hidden, or should I luck roll it?
I'll say you can do another spot hidden roll.
Dice just don't like me today.
Yeah, wow. But yeah, you managed to crouch around the door that connects to the Ban Shaman's hut, and you see right near was almost like his throne, his more decorated seat, is dangling a little key.
So he might know something. Now, how to get to the key without him noticing?
Okay, I'm back.
Where is the Ban Shaman?
The Ban Shaman is inside his hut, off to your right. So you would see you're looking through this small little tunnel that connects the two huts, and he's on the opposite side towards the right. So he's in his hut onto your right.
But would he be within eyesight of the key?
He'd be able to see it from where he is, yes. Depending on which way he's facing.
I I look at the two and say, "Can you distract him while I grab the key?"
Oh yeah, I can distract him easily.
Okay.
I'll get my camera out.
All right. How would you like to try to distract him?
I'll get my camera out and approach him.
All right.
And say, "Excuse me, I'd like to get a few more photographs of you, if that's possible."
Oh, of course, my friend, of course. And he kind of
Let's-
leans up against the wall of his hut as he's trying to do a very Western, sexy pose.
I guess
But
that would
he's-
be a stealth roll with a bonus die.
I'll take a shot, and then I'll try to find a spot for him to pose.
What happened? I'm
That'll
sorry.
definitely put his back to what's going, or maybe even have him step outside.
All right, so Jack managed to sneak
But the light's
in
better.
to the small hut attached to the Banchaman's hut,
Okay.
and now
The one
he
with
had-
the ribbons and the things on it?
yes, and
Okay.
he had found a small box underneath the bed in that room, and
Okay.
there's a key. The box is locked, but there's a key dangling near the throne in the Banchaman's hut. And Anson just distracted.
I got a hard success for the stealth.
Yep. So you can sneak across the room. He's not facing you.
Just grab the key and get out.
All right.
Okay.
So you slip back into the hut where Sydney is still waiting.
Unlock the box and see what's inside.
All right. Let's jump
Poison
back.
dagger hits me directly in the heart. Bleh.
So I ran the Necropolis over the weekend for Gen Con, and that's what somebody did. And it was that just brings back fond memories.
Talk about coincidence.
Yeah. But there is no heart in this box. Instead, you find several small little vials of white liquid and a folded up piece of parchment.
I'm gonna take the vials and then look at the parchment.
Okay. Well, for the parchment, I do have a handout for. I know I have a handout for.
Yay. Is it an
Yay!
appropriate one?
We found a thing. We did it. We did it.
All right.
Can my character read this?
Absolutely not. There's no
Okay.
way you can read this. You're not
What
even
is
entirely
this?
sure what language this is.
What is this? A mythos check?
I'd say you can make a mythos roll, sure.
Don't we all have like 0 mythos?
You all should you're all probably at 0 mythos though. You can try a cult though.
I did kind of take up mythos as an experience package for the cost of sanity.
That's fine.
I thought we
man.
could. Oh, okay.
Experience packages were okay allowed.
Oh, I should have done that.
Wait.
I failed. I have no idea.
You know what? I'm gonna spend luck on it.
That's
Wow.
a lot of luck.
That's a lot of luck. 43 points.
43 points, which would leave me at 12 luck.
Wow.
You might need it later. In all honesty, I mean that's just my opinion. You can do it.
Yeah. And since that would put you as the one making group luck rolls,
Yeah,
I
good
don't,
point.
I don't want you killing us all.
I can make group luck rolls. Mine's a 73, but I mean.
Well, a
Yeah,
group
but
luck roll has to be
usually
made with
you
the
take the
lowest.
person with the lowest luck.
Oh, that's true.
I mean, alternatively, I could push the roll, but it might end up being bad.
It's a no. What's it gonna do? Turn into a ghost and kill you?
No, it just interpret it incorrectly and
Yeah.
in a very hazardous, possibly very hazardous way. I don't know.
All right.
Nope, can't tell what it is. Nope.
You're not entirely sure what it says, but you think that there's some sort of directions, and
Maybe it leads to the temple.
maybe if you were to find some like a guidebook or something that can translate this language, maybe it'll offer you a good hint, but you don't know. And I will definitely come up with something to happen to you negatively for this.
Yep. Anyway, I think we better get on out of here.
All right.
Take the parchment and the vials and then lock up the box and put it back.
All right. So the Bonchaman still hasn't seen you in there. You managed to put the box away. Anson, make a spot hidden roll.
Oh, goody. No.
No. Okay, so you don't. Everything is put back as close to as it was when you remember it being, and you can slip out of the hut without being seen. If that's what you choose to do.
Anybody good with sleight of hand?
No.
No.
I have a good dexterity, but not sleight of hand. I don't think that's really. Oh, that is a thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Well, I guess we better zoinks up to the temple.
I mean, I don't think we really have to. I mean, if you're going to keep the vials, then it doesn't matter if we return the note.
I mean, we kind of need the note, though.
Oh,
Right.
need it.
And we might as well keep the key anyway, because they're going to know as soon as they look in the thing that everything's missing.
Mm-hmm.
How often do they go looking in the thing, though? It's maybe something they rarely ever get into.
So
I would prefer to try and
could
get the key back.
alternatively go back to where our friend is, where he went home, and then talk to him directly.
Well, remember, he killed himself. He jumped out of a window.
Yeah, he's dead.
He's dead. There's no one to talk to.
Unless you have some kind of Cthulhu Mythos thing that you can talk to the spirit realm.
Like spirit realm.
I'll have
Come
a
here,
seance.
ghost. Come here. I don't have enough mythos for that. Anyway,
Yeah.
So do you want to try and put the key back or just forget it? I
Might
mean,
as well.
it's going to take another distraction. I don't know how often I can keep going
I
in
have
there.
a pretty high stealth. I'll try to put the key back. How's that?
Okay.
I just describe where the key was on the chair.
Okay. If you
We have
guys
a
could give
different
me
way
a
of
distraction, I
distracting
can do
them?
that.
You actually can't
That's
see
more
where
like
he is
family.
at the moment. So you're
Perfect. I'll just go do it.
If he's not in the hut.
I'll just go do it. Here we go, stealth.
Yeah.
Yay.
All right. You sneak over
Dang, you got a good
and
stealth.
manage
Yeah.
to put the key back. And as you're walking, moving quietly back to the hut you came from, you see you can see the Bonchaman standing in the door, but he's facing away from you, so he's looking outside.
Okay. Well, I'm putting the key back. They can figure out what he's looking at.
What does it look like what does it appear that he's,
It looks like he's
When
just
he's
staring
in.
off into the distance, not at anything particular.
all right, I'll look in that direction that he's looking, and I'll just take a picture. There's maybe something we're not seeing out there, maybe it can be caught on camera. I don't know.
Yeah, but this isn't a digital camera. Where are you going to
No,
develop?
I know it's, but still,
Okay,
I'll
true.
take a shot of it. It's not something we're going to be able to do here. I'm sure I'm not going to be able to find.
Maybe we should just drink the white liquid and see what happens.
Why don't you try that?
Yeah, we'll keep watch while you do that.
I mean, although honestly, that's how they tested substances they didn't know. They tasted very, very small amounts of it and then just waited to see what happened.
Yeah. Well, I've seen its effect on Avery's mother.
Assuming it's the same white liquid. Could be something else.
The vials look like the same vial she showed me.
Oh,
No,
She didn't show me the vial of liquid, right?
No, she didn't show you.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
She had it in the kitchen. You never went and actually saw it.
Okay.
So we had
That's right. I think his father described it to me.
Yeah.
okay.
Okay. It seems like the same stuff, though. I don't know. I'm going on the assumption that it's the same stuff. Could totally be wrong.
Okay. So we know it's some kind of drug or something, some kind of toxin that makes people go crazy, basically.
Possibly.
Yeah,
possibly.
act
You don't
very
know.
strangely, at least. I mean, my first thought was maybe it's opium or some sort of opioid.
That's what I was.
Opium derivative. So,
That's
I mean,
what poppy milk looks like.
she wasn't acting in a way that was inconsistent with any other sort of
But I guess
high strength opioid or something like that.
so, like, based on my experience in like this region, though, poppy doesn't grow up in the Himalayas, so I mean, it would be very unusual to, they would have to import this village. The Banshee men would have to have it imported or smuggled in from somewhere, unless it was the guy's drugs, and when he left, the Bunchman took them.
Maybe he got them from somewhere else, or maybe he just brought them and.
Because you said
Left
these are
them.
vials, right? So they're.
Yeah.
I assume they're.
They're pretty small. You can fit a couple.
Yeah,
in
but
your head.
they're commercially done. They're hand blown. They're not, or they're blown glass, or they're manufactured glass. They're not something this village could make.
No.
So they had to come from somewhere else, which means someone else had to bring them in.
It's possible he brought them in and just didn't take them with him.
Yeah.
Left them behind.
We could probably inquire with the temple.
I'm getting the feeling the temple is more like Temple of Doom temple. Like it's not it's not a Buddhist temple type of thing, it's kind of more like.
Hey, think of the treasure we could find in there.
According to his parents, he was looking in or studying or staying at monasteries, so it may actually be a functioning temple.
All right, so I got an idea. Let's go talk to Professor Ramses and tell him what we found, and
That's a good
quietly,
idea.
and see what he thinks, what he wants to do. He's the boss.
All right. As soon as you walk outside, you can see that the Banchaman is maybe a couple yards away from you, and his eyes are completely white and glazed over.
Oh,
I'll get a picture.
As soon as you snap a picture, he starts speaking to you.
what does he say?
Why did you come here?
Is he saying this in English or some other language?
No, he's speaking in English though, but it's not the
Oh.
same accent he's spoken before.
Oh, so he's like channeling somebody. Uh, I'm not the group face, so I mean, if somebody else wants to answer,
Why did we come here?
Ramsey's
So
hired us.
what's our cover story again? We're part of an expedition to study your culture.
My culture.
Professor Ramsey's hired us. He's the boss.
Yeah, go get him.
Boss, like chief.
I am the leader of this village. Do you doubt that?
No,
No,
no.
of course
Of
not.
course, no. We're just saying the village we come from. Ramses is our chief.
He does not seem like a chief to me. I have been the one to perform the ritual, and I have emerged wiser for it. Tell me, do you wish to know the future or examine the present?
Could one of us know the present and one of us know the future?
Don't be greedy.
Be wary of asking of the future, for it might come true.
Yeah, I think the present is enough
Yeah, I'm voting for
to
president.
put on our plates for right now. I
Fine,
would like
let's go
to
with
inquire
present.
of the present.
The American saw a secret he was not meant to know. Others have learned what he learned, and they have killed him for it. They have poisoned his mind and forced him to fly like the birds.
Yeah, he didn't fly all that well.
Technically, he flew just fine. It was his landing that
Yeah. It's not the fall that kills you.
kills you. It's a
the
sudden stop.
Sudden stop at the end. Yeah. Who are they?
But what sort of secret is it that would cause you to condemn a man to death?
He was never condemned. He did not accept. And he was punished for it. And as he's talking, you can see several of the bone pieces on his jewelry start to crack.
Uh-oh.
That's nice.
I just like start reaching for my special little friend, the handgun, and be like, "What's up with your amulet?"
We don't want to make the same mistake he did.
Yeah.
Could you give us some more information so that we can recognize, so that we can avoid his fate?
You see the shaman standing there, and he sort of looks away from you and draws the dagger from his belt. He takes the blade, puts it next to his stomach, and shoves the blade in. So he skewers himself.
I guess that's a sanity roll.
That's nice.
And as he starts to collapse, he begins shouting, "It hunts! It grows stronger! It is the one you want. Even now its gate swings wide." And he collapses to the ground in a pool of blood.
So, you think he's talking about your snow leopard?
No, probably something worse.
Probably something worse, yeah. So
In that case,
I don't have
I'm
any
going
medical
to-
skill or anything, but I'm gonna kneel down near him and roll him over and see is he still alive?
In that case, I'm probably going to take out my elephant rifle.
No, he is not alive still. He definitely dead. But you can
Okay.
make an intelligence roll. Or you can try one.
Intelligence roll?
Yes.
Okay.
Ah! No, I'm gonna spend luck on that. I shouldn't fail an intelligence roll. Well, my luck is already too. Never mind. My luck is too low. I'm not gonna spend it.
All right. Well, your compatriots rolled very well.
Smarter
And they're the
than I
ones
am.
who noticed that the dagger, when it fell out of his body after you pushed him out, rolled him over, fell in an odd direction. The tip is pointing directly up the hill in the direction that Sydney was told the temple was located in.
We should head to the temple.
We should go find Ramsey and tell him first. See what he wants to do since he's the boss, and we do have all these porters. You know, I mean,
Yeah, I was gonna say.
You know, I'm going to pick up the dagger. It looks like a good replacement for... Did you say good?
I did because you're the guy with the mythos stuff. So I mean, if anybody's going to have a mythos artifact, you should be the one that has it.
Well, what about
Yeah,
this?
I just pick up the dagger. It's a good replacement for my knife.
What about this amulet with the cracked bones?
I guess I could take that too.
And I don't want the villagers to necessarily see us looting his body, but
But we're kind of looting his body.
we're kind of looting his body. Yeah,
I mean, he ain't gonna be using it anymore.
Okay, I'll get the camera out while you loot his body.
All right.
Distract people.
Just take
You,
the dagger and the amulet.
aside from the dagger, there is a small leather purse on his body that holds a few coins in several denominations, all
I
from
get-
different parts of the world.
We'll take those as well. We're gonna need them.
And he has some nice jewelry on. Nothing that's morbid, so no more skulls, but bright jewels and things like that.
Treasure.
Treasure. You found treasure on him, yes.
Some
Oh, for
coins.
Pete's sake, leave the money and the jewels.
Hey,
just invested in the
grave
creepy
robbing
stuff.
is a lucrative business.
He's not in a
Whatever.
grave yet.
I suppose that's why you have a
Exactly.
50 credit rating and I only have a 30 credit rating.
Oh, that? No.
I'm sorry.
I'm
Yeah.
from the Winchester family.
Oh, I thought you made your fortune robbing graves.
No. That's just a gimmick of my profession, being a big game hunter.
Gotcha.
I am from the Winchester family, as in Winchester Rifle Company.
Congratulations.
As so are you guys heading down to see Ramsey again?
Yeah, let's
Yeah.
All right.
see if he wants to take the whole expedition up there.
As you start making your way towards the lower half of the village, there are shouts behind you as people have seen the Banchaman's body on the ground outside
Oh,
on the street.
and I wonder who's got the murder weapon. Just a thought.
Let me explain. He killed himself. He stabbed himself in the gut.
Well,
sure.
since that has been pointed out that you're carrying a murder weapon, you can make a luck roll, Jack.
Yeah, I know.
See, aren't you glad you have that luck now? Instead of 12?
Yeah, no kidding.
Let's make that luck roll. Let's see what happens. Yeah!
Everybody is too distracted as you hustle down the road, tucking the dagger underneath your shirt to keep it hidden.
The Vashamat's dead.
You find Professor Ramsey shortly after, and he's listens to what you're saying and starts to agree with you when somebody comes and shouts that the Banchaman is dead.
I just lean into the professor and ask, "Hey, we found something that I think you might be able to decipher. It's a long shot," and shows him the strange writing.
He takes the paper, puts it aside into his pocket, ignoring it. What did you do?
We didn't do nothing. He killed himself and said some weird phrase.
He was in a trance. He offered to tell us about either the future or the present. We chose the present. He gave us a little information, and then he took his own life with his dagger.
You do understand that the point of this expedition was to not kill any of them. If
we didn't.
That you were going to be responsible for their deaths and the deaths of everything that we're trying to study, I would not have hired you.
We did not kill this man.
We did not kill him, and the strange part is, when the dagger fell out of him, as he killed himself, it pointed straight at the temple.
That could have just been random, though. Really.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't see it. These guys apparently thought that's what was going on. I don't know.
You are all reckless. And when we get back to the bottom of this mountain, I'm reporting all of you to the authorities.
For what?
For murder.
For what?
Look, Professor Ramsey,
we did not kill him. He killed himself.
Literally.
Yeah, I will very calmly recount everything that went on from the time we saw him with his eyes glazed over. And I'd like to make a persuade roll to try and get him to understand that we did not kill him.
Are you good at persuasion? Please say yes.
I got a 60.
Oh, that's good.
So you can make a persuade roll. Sure, go ahead.
All right.
Please.
I haven't succeeded at a skill roll yet today, so let's, hopefully.
No whammies. No whammies.
No whammies.
Ah, there we go.
There you go. Hard
So he listens to you. He rubs his chin, as he's thinking. Well, maybe we can turn this to our advantage.
Yeah.
But the question is, he was referring to...
We definitely don't tell the villagers. Let them study what they do with the death of their leader. How does this affect what they do?
Before he died, he mentioned something about the beast it hunts still.
Well, you're the big game hunter.
I don't know what to make of that.
Well, whatever it is, it must be some nasty beast.
And he pulls out that piece of paper that you had given him, and he looks at it. This is really strange.
You're telling me I couldn't make anything of it.
Well, no, I mean, I think I recognize the language that it's written in, but it makes no sense. It's just a mishmash of letters, and I mean, realistically, it almost looks druidic, but nobody writes in that ancient language anymore. Nobody speaks it.
Along with that, we also found vials of this liquid.
What is it? It's not labeled. He looks it
I
over.
don't know, but what we do know is that they mentioned something about drugging the guy who committed suicide to a point he would do that because he learned it too much.
It also seems to match the description of a liquid that was sent by Avery to his mother and that she's been consuming.
If we had some way of knowing what this liquid does, we would have a better understanding of it.
Yeah.
Probably best to send it to a chemist.
Anybody have chemistry or any science skills or anything?
No.
No, but I'm sure we could hire one.
Not up here in the middle of the Himalayas.
Yeah, we wouldn't be able to do it until we
But
left.
we
When we
should
get
focus on the clear and present
Right.
point of interest.
Yes,
which
unless
is,
someone is brave enough to sample the stuff, I don't see any.
Who has the
other-
highest constitution?
I do. I got 60.
Certainly not me. I've got 55.
Yeah, fine. I'll drink it.
You don't have to drink the whole thing. You just have to like taste a little bit of it.
Yeah. Put a drop on your fingertip and put
Okay.
it on your tongue.
Here it goes.
All right. Make a con roll.
Hard success.
Good job.
God, I was about to say you had to roll hard.
The downside of that is there's no effect and you learn nothing.
It tastes horrible.
Of course it does.
Oh my.
I mean, you're almost starting to gag just with that little drop.
Oh God, who could even stomach that?
And you realize that someone bottled up several small bottles of this, what you could probably think of as it's milk of some sort, as spoiled heavily.
So it is some kind of ritualistic.
It's like
Type
a
of-
fermented milk. It tastes like absolutely awful.
Yeah.
Okay.
So clearly this has ritualistic means, but what is it for? I think the only resounding solution is we have to go to the temple.
Yeah, we do. But can we go to the temple right now, given they're in the middle of their chief, the Bakcha man, dying? I mean, can we just say, hey, you guys go do your funeral rite thingy. We're going to go head up here. It was nice talking to you. Can we really do that?
I mean, if we avoid attention, we could.
What time of day is it?
Right now it's late afternoon. The sun is starting to descend.
It's feasible we can sneak.
I would like to try and get some photographs while people seem to be really focused on the death of their chieftain, of what they're doing there with the chieftain's body and that sort of thing. Just
All right. Yeah, Ramsey says
Just
something
for a
very
record.
similar to you, that they need to know what kind of ritual they perform, what their funerary rites are.
I'll try my best to stay back and not be noticed while I take the photographs, so hopefully get something a little candid out of it.
Okay. The people of the village have put the Banchaman's body on sort of like kind of like looks like a stretcher type thing. They're carrying him, and they place him on a flat rock, not quite in the center of the village, but near enough where everybody can watch. Once the Banchaman has been put there, everybody steps away and they start doing this very rhythmic prayer under their breaths. And sort of as you're watching, it almost seems strange how the altar is struck by a single beam of light as though it held significance. As you're watching, a pair of men in white robes that are very clean, considering the otherwise state of this village, approach the stone and pull these really long curved knives out of their robes. And they begin slashing at the body. They cut the head from the body, they cut the arms away, they cut the legs away. And soon, after a few short moments, the altar stone is covered in blood.
Wonderful.
I need
Hey,
y'all to try spot hidden rolls.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm surprised that.
Also, hate to
not-
ask, but is that going to get us any sort of sanity roll?
I don't.
Well, Sydney
think
saved us.
so. Yes,
Thanks,
everybody,
Sydney.
everybody just takes 1 point of sanity loss. There's no roll.
Okay.
Anson and Sydney both look up into the sky and see what look like 3 vultures moving in the direction of the village. The large birds descend onto the stone altar and begin tearing flesh and bone away from the
Jeez.
Banshaman's body.
I mean, it's a cold environment. They have to do away with the body some way.
Right, but who has vultures on speed dial?
And Ramsey's there, and you can see his eyes are wide, and he's like, I never would have guessed that they use us to do a sky burial.
A sky burial, huh?
Oh. You know, the body is presented to the birds, and the birds come and feast on the corpse. There's no ground. The ground can't be dug here. You can't build graves.
No
I
funeral
thought they would
pyres,
do.
huh?
Yeah, I thought they would do something like cremation.
No.
Burning the body. Huh.
Wood is scarce here.
Yeah, look around. There's no wood. The houses are made of mud.
That's true.
Good point.
Okay, yeah. So do you guys want to? Where are we going to be? Are we setting up a camp, or are we staying in like the Bonchaman's house for the evening? Because I'm
Yeah,
wondering
I'm definitely not going to the Bonchman's house.
why he's dead.
Ramsey had sent the porters to begin erecting tents near the Banshaman's house.
Okay,
All right.
I'm saying we sneak out. Once because it's almost night. It's practically nighttime. I say.
At this point, it's basically nightfall at this point.
It's Astro Frog.
Yeah, so what I'm thinking of is we either leave at night or we leave like before first light in the morning. What do you guys think? For the temple, heading for the temple. Because it seems like
Yeah.
that's where everything's pointing to.
Yeah, I think first thing in the morning is best.
Okay.
Give us maximum amount of daylight on the way there.
Yeah, we don't want to die going up to the temple because we stumbled and fell and broke our leg.
Yeah.
That would be bad.
All right, so you can go to camp and try to get some sleep.
Is Ramsey's going to post a guard, or are we going to have a watch or something? Or are we all just going to
No,
trust?
no watch, no guards.
Well, I'm suggesting to my fellow adventurers that maybe we kind of sleep in shifts.
That sounds like a good idea.
Yeah.
I'm okay with
So if
that
we're
if you
leaving,
want to.
I mean, yeah, because if we're leaving at first light, we're probably leaving at like 4 a.m. anyway, before anyone else is even awake. And if it's already evening, once we eat dinner, it sounds like we'll have like maybe 8 hours. So we do
Roughly
3
2.5 hour,
Yeah,
3 hour shifts.
yeah. Everybody still gets 6 hours of sleep, but
Yeah.
Okay, yeah,
Sounds good.
let's do that.
All right.
So what we do.
I need everybody to make a luck roll.
Lucky.
Man, if I would have known luck was going to be like the
I have no luck. No luck.
Oh my God.
fumbles, Fumbleina.
That's not good. I
Oof.
nearly failed.
All right. Well, Sydney's shift goes by without incident.
Derek dies from that thing he
I was gonna
tasted.
say we're gonna all die during Winchester
I think
shift, aren't we?
I think if anything from whatever I tasted, I'd shit my pants.
Well, it's literally rotten yak's milk, so you probably did. I mean, literally.
Oh Lord!
Yeah, we
Rob.
look at him. He's not dead yet. He's laying. He hasn't emptied his bowels. Suddenly, now he's dead.
He's dead.
All right. So, Rob, during your shift, it almost seems to go, for the most part, quiet. But right near the end of the time you're out there keeping watch, you hear this really blood-curdling scream from up the road in the direction of the temple.
How far off?
An hour.
Maybe 100 yards, 200 yards at most.
Oh, jeez.
Relatively close.
Huh.
I'm gonna take a look and see what's there.
Yeah,
Ow.
and Jack, during your shift, or when you come to relieve Anson, not only you hear the scream, but as you're watching, you see some movement just out of the edge of your vision. What looks like a massive insect.
I'm just gonna take my rifle and aim at it. 100 yards, right?
Well, you can make a attack roll.
It's a good thing it is exactly 100 yards that my gun is.
Yeah, but he said it was like a couple 100 feet.
Well,
so-
the scream came from a
give me
couple
1
hundred
minute.
yards.
Okay.
Be prepared to be woken up very abruptly as he fires his elephant gun in the tent. Or near the tent.
Yeah, near the tent.
Well, we're all going to be getting up.
Yeah, that's a fact.
$20 damage to it.
That's not
see.
If that's not a dead bug, we have problems.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's either dead or it's really pissed off.
I'm pulling up the character sheet for this creature right now.
And aside that, I got a second shot.
Yeah, but then you'll have to reload because it's a double barrel, right?
Yeah. If you take more than one shot, remember you're doing it at disadvantage.
Hard.
Yeah.
Or you're doing it with a penalty die.
Yeah.
So you would have had to roll the purple die.
I mean, even if it's got armor and it's reduced damage, it's still going to hit a lot.
All right. You hear a blood curling. It shrieks. It lets out a painful, mournful cry.
Oh, great. You pissed it off. You pissed it off.
But hey,
And
we
I
convert
need
it. That means it
you-
could die.
I need you to make a power roll.
Anyway, Power.
Good job.
Okay. So, you only take 1d4 damage.
Should I roll it?
Nope, I got it. It's gonna... You take 4 points of damage. You immediately drop your rifle, put your hands to your ears, fall to your knees, and start screaming.
I imagine we're all awake now.
Oh yeah, you guys. Everybody else is awake.
I just like look at the other two with
first,
my ears.
a massive elephant gun goes off, and then
the shriek,
he starts screaming.
Did
I don't
he?
think there's probably not anyone in the village who isn't.
What's your rifle skill? If I might ask.
Who's?
Mine? Mine's whatever the default is, 25.
Yeah. Mine is too, but I don't have a rifle, so.
I do have a rifle.
I have a revolver.
I have a revolver too. Well, I have an automatic.
What's your revolver range and skill?
My pistol is 40 skill, but I'm out of range. It's only
handgun's the basic 20, and its range is 15. So
I'm just gonna have to wait till next turn to shoot.
So we don't even know what you were shooting at. So
freaking
I'm like looking at this laying elephant gun here, going, did he know which end to use? Because you're the one writhing in pain. So I mean,
you do know that shooting those things can be a little punishing, right?
yeah, you're supposed to wear a pad on your shoulder as we're lecturing you as you're screaming on the ground. I'll do a first aid check on him though.
Okay.
So.
Yep. I'll make a first aid roll.
Nope.
Nope. You can tell he's bleeding from his ears, but you can't do anything to stem the flow.
Oh, probably had his. Yeah, probably didn't have any earplugs in, and probably the blast like ruptured his eardrum.
Yeah. What the hell are you shooting at? I don't even know if he can hear me.
Probably
Jax,
not.
Your hearing is just ringing right now, but you can see Anson trying to talk to you.
Yeah.
His mouth is moving, but you
His
can't
mouth is
hear
moving, and
anything.
he's saying,
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna pick up his elephant gun and I'm gonna check the chamber.
Okay.
Did he only fire one round or did he fire both or?
Looks like you fired just one round.
Okay. Does it look like it breached the chamber or maybe misfired or something?
No, from what you can tell, everything seems like it
worked just fine.
Worked fine, yeah.
while Sydney's examining the gun, Anson will be peering out the tent, trying to see what he could have possibly been shooting at.
It's the middle of the night. We don't have dark vision. Do you have a flashlight?
No.
I have a flashlight.
No.
Yeah, you don't see anything from where the tents are.
Okay.
Do you have first aid?
Just a base 30.
Well, mine was only 40. You want to try?
Yeah. Better. Yep. May as well give it a shot. Up.
Hey, you made 2 rolls this game.
I know.
1 spot hidden and 1 first aid.
I think I hit my quota.
Well,
Oh, and I got the hard on the persuade, so.
you can roll you heal 1 point of damage for him.
Alrighty.
Now, Anson, you can remember that the screams that you heard at night when you're during your shift.
And was that similar to the screech we heard after he shot the gun?
Yes, it's in the same direction.
Okay. Well, I'll relay it. You know, I heard something on my shift, like a scream. That was out, I think, just beyond the village in the direction of the temple. And it sounded a lot like, oh, did you hear that screech after he shot his gun?
I didn't hear anything.
It sounded an awful lot like the same thing. So maybe whatever made the sound was what he was shooting at. And again, maybe that screech was just him screaming after he did whatever he did to himself.
Okay.
I wonder if we should get a lantern and go take a look and see.
I actually have a torch, an electric torch. I have a flashlight.
Okay.
I mean, if it did this to him after he blasted it, because it looks like he returned fire, do we really want to be going to look for it in the middle of the night? Just the two
Well,
of
do
them?
you want to creeping up on us in the middle of the night?
I'm back.
Okay.
Can you hear us?
Yeah, I
Looks
can
like-
hear you.
Looks like you probably damaged your eardrums. What were you shooting at?
It looked like some giant bug.
And it caused your ears to bleed like that? Did it attack you?
No, it just screamed.
So Sydney will take out her flashlight and turn it on, and she'll like scan the brush of like where he was shooting it.
I'm gonna head over to that location, like look for blood or anything to track with.
All right. You're gonna make a spot hidden roll. See if you find it. So you have to go all the way to 100 yards out, but you find a little splattering of this black liquid, this black ichor.
Well, if it bleeds, it can die.
Yes, as Sydney looks at you. Yes.
If it didn't die after you hit him with that cannon of yours,
Yeah. Do you see?
we're gonna have to find a way to make it bleed a lot more than that.
This is a considerable wound. If anything, it's probably on its last legs.
Yeah.
As I reload a bullet into the gun.
All
Well,
right.
if it's still alive, it's probably really pissed off.
Yeah, but it couldn't have gone far.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is we might not want to
Do you want it to
necessarily
attack?
find it at this point.
It was attacking a villager. Would you want to leave a wounded animal to hurt more?
Was it attacking a villager?
Yes, that's what the previous scream was.
It sounded like the previous scream was it.
Anyway.
It sounded quite a bit the same, but
Anyway, help me or don't help me. I'm gonna go track it down.
well, why don't we wait? How close is it to the time we were all going to get up and go anyways?
That's not long.
Yeah, let's go gear up, and we might as well go after. We might as well go.
Yeah, let's get ourselves set up, make our way up, and we'll just keep an eye out for the thing. And
All right.
All right.
You go back to the tents, grab your gear, and head back to where the blood was. There doesn't seem to be any visible tracks.
What I was saying is we could look for blood splatter.
Okay. Make a track
Can
roll.
you see us now? Can we both make track rolls? I
Yeah.
think I actually have tracking.
Ooh, that's a hard.
Nice.
Oh, I don't have track, but
You're able to easily follow. There seems to be a little bit of a path that curves back and towards the road. But the
Road.
drops quickly stop.
All right, take out your torches and light the area.
Well, no, the sun is over the horizon, so you can see without torches.
All right. Can I see the creature anywhere?
You have not seen a creature, but you can make a spot hidden roll.
okay.
Success.
All right.
Success.
Oh, let's go for it.
Come on. It gets an extreme success. We all.
All right. You all are digitally
We're all awake now.
paying attention, and you see in the middle of the road are what look like two cut up bodies of people.
Okay. So they were attacking villagers.
Sydney is going to take out her rifle and chamber around.
All right.
Taking a look at the body, does it look like they were cut up by knives or something more torn at by a
Make a natural
creature.
world roll.
I got natural world.
Oh,
Not a
sure.
lot, but I can try.
Nah,
Nah.
I have no idea.
The bodies have been cut up, but you can't tell how they were cut up.
Okay.
Anyway, that being the case,
You can tell though that the two people that were murdered were armed with not great but not crappy rifles.
Well,
Are the rifles
yeah,
still there?
Yes, but they're also damaged and
Uh,
cut open. Something cut through the barrels of the rifles.
Holy crap.
it must have razor sharp appendages or something.
Yeah, or just really strong.
Maybe both.
Does it look like the barrels were cut or bent and broke?
Cut.
Cut. Okay.
Uh,
Anyway, keep a weather eye.
Yeah. Let's keep going towards the temple.
yeah.
Maybe
Well,
maybe it came from the temple.
That's what I'm guessing. I mean, that was the plan anyway, was to go to the temple, right?
Right.
Anyway, I guess we're gonna take it
This way we
fast.
can kill two bugs
to
with one
the
stone.
temple.
Kill 2 bugs with 1 stone. Good one. Hey, by the way, did you reload the other barrel in that elephant gun? of
Yes,
yours?
He
I
did.
did.
Okay. Just want to make sure you did, because,
All right, so you make your way towards where you expect the temple area to be. Let me see, do I have a handout for that? No, I don't. Yeah, so you see stone walls rising up around the road. Looks like some sort of filler was put in to support the stones about into each layer. It looks like a fortress, like it was designed to not be penetrated. There are little turrets around, and the sconces for torches to be lit. But the front door of the temple has been torn open and broken open.
Looks like this is the right place.
Yeah. I'll get photographs. In fact, I probably would have gotten photographs of those two bodies too.
Mm-hmm.
Just
you're going to have an interesting scrapbook when you get home.
Is the professor
yes,
with
I
us?
will.
No, he had stayed down. He had stayed in his tent, because he was still sleeping. And by the time you guys reached the temple, he was already in the village. So he's not with you.
Coward.
Smart guy. Okay, do you guys want to approach the door, or what are we gonna do? It's almost 1:00, or
Yeah.
it's almost game time.
Anyway,
Yeah,
I guess
let's,
we go in.
All right.
Let me stop a moment and listen. Do I hear any movement or any odd sounds that may be coming from
We'll make a listen roll.
beyond the walls? Or
I'm listening.
Anson and Sydney, you don't hear anything. You just hear the whistling of the wind. Jack hears this weird, distant, almost speaking coming from farther into the temple.
Something's inside the temple.
Yep. And that's where I'm going to end the session. You guys are flying through this.
Yay!
All right,
well, that was a lot of fun. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
You're welcome. So I will see you in 2 weeks, and once again, I'll be going over my notes because
Remember, we have to. I think what we need to do is group up and hit it till it dies. Yeah.
Yeah, but